Hello, it's Slaps of Apathy. I'm gonna take off my headphones. For a while, I've been against the pharmaceutical industry for various number of reasons. One of the number one reasons why is because the pharmaceutical industry likes to make loads of money off of people for trying to make them feel better or whatever it may be, and that might be somewhat of a anti-capitalist sort of ideology or something like that. But I still think that people's health shouldn't be of concern of making money. What the primary concern of the healthcare industry should be is making people feel better and making sure that that people are healthy, not to treat them when they're sick. And here's what I mean by that. If I were to do a revision on the healthcare industry, there would be two different types of doctors. One would be the normal doctor healthcare thing that you already have now. You have, the doctors that take care of you when you're sick, or you have an ailment, or maybe you broke your leg or something like that. They didn't pay them money because obviously these doctors need to make money. I'm not really quite certain on the insurance aspect. I used to be against healthcare insurance. I used to think that these healthcare insurance agencies were only out for your pocket and your wallet and everything else like that. But now I'm starting to come around on the idea that, you know what, maybe healthcare industry is fine. I mean, maybe it's alright to have like some sort of middleman to help people out and get certain things that they need to get done. Obviously, because doctors have to make a certain amount of money because they work all the time doing things that are extremely difficult, and you have to get out. You have to be helped out one way or the other. If you're going to rely on the government, then the government is going to have all of the power in saying what type of health care you're going to get. And this is the only reason why I'm coming around the idea of maybe even, like the Obamacare thing is not socialist. I mean, a lot of libertarians will be like, oh, Obamacare is socialist. That is not socialist at all. If it were socialist, then maybe it would be good, but it wouldn't be good because of the people that we have in power that are only out for themselves, that are only out for making their own money. That's why I moved from far left socialist to I don't know, a bottom left libertarian or something like that. The politics is very confusing when you're talking about like which end of the spectrum you're on, because sooner or later you'll understand that politics is really it's not a spectrum. There's no spectrum. There's am I going to let the government have power in order to take care of problems that they're not going to want to take care of in the first place, because the government they don't care about you. They only care about themselves. They only care about lining their own pockets. Or am I going to be out for individuals trying to help themselves and trying to help those around them? And that's really the crux of it. You're only going to have those two individual choices. When I was a liberal, I believed in the whole the libertarian mindset that, we have to help each other out and everything else like that. We have to be human beings. We have to do it. We have to make sure that everyone gets whatever they need to get. But there's a difference, because when I was a liberal, I thought the only way to do this was through the government. And I saw all the governmental corruption. I saw all the lobbyists lobbying for the government, and then I saw all these major corporations, and I zeroed in on major corporations and said they're the scoundrels. They're the ones that are orchestrating everything on top, which they are. But they're the ones that are orchestrating everything on top. But the government is basically their lapdogs. but they're choosing to be their lapdogs because there's a revolving door policy within politics. You get into politics originally, maybe you want to start out and try to do something for the people. But of course, there's so much in play that you can't do that. Even if you take all the money from the lobbyists, turn around on them, and say, you know what, I'm going to do my own thing, you either get shot in the head, or you're not going to be able to get anything done. Because our governmental system is not set up in a way where one person can make all these decisions up and everything else like that, and everybody else has no power at all. Although that's arguable now, because there's a lot of decisions that Obama seems to be making that is not questioned by everyone or anyone, and it's a whole big spew of mess and everything else like that, and eventually you'll learn the fact that government is out for themselves. They're out for the money that they get from lobbyists, and they don't want to help us out, and it's not the corporation's fault. It's not all the corporation's fault, because corporations are giving the government money, and the government is going into the corporations afterwards, and it's a revolving door. So there's literally no line. I thought there was a line, and you probably think there's a line if you're a liberal, or if you're a conservative maybe, you think there's a line. But really, there is no line. The line is not there. The line is not blurred. The line is not dotted. The line is not solid. The line is not thick and bold. The line isn't there. And then you'll come to the realization that using government to help people out is not going to work. It's just not going to work. We have to rely on ourselves, because the government's not out for us. Now, again, going back to healthcare, you have pharmaceutical companies now. And they're going out and they're trying to come up with all these drugs to help things like schizophrenia or bipolar or whatever it may be. And then you have the psychology sector that are coming up with all these new psychological things. But then you'll come to the realization that it's like, what? How do they test this? But they don't. That's the thing. They never test it. They never have some tangible evidence. Now, I may be wrong. I'm not trying to be a demagogue here or anything else like that, but they never seem to have any tangible evidence that what they're diagnosing you with is absolutely 100% right. Because they don't want to do that. Instead, they have this DSM, this Diagnostic Submission Journal, whatever, comes out with various diseases or various disorders that you have, and they'll say you have it, and then some psychologists will try to help you out without medication, but some are literally bought and sold by these Medicare companies, these medicine companies, and they'll push a drug to you even though it's not really meant for you. Some of these drugs, yeah, some of these drugs you should take. But the majority of the time, these people push a drug on you because they're getting paid from these pharmaceutical industries that want to make a drug for something that's not there in the first place. And then they make the drug, and then these people take the drugs, and then bad shit happens to them. And then the cycle repeats. The DSM gets larger and larger. A few pages are taken out, but it keeps growing. It keeps fucking growing. And it's because these medicine companies, these pharmaceutical industries, they want to get money from the person who is buying the insurance. The insurance agency probably works with them. Maybe, probably not, actually. Because the insurance money has to pay. You have to pay the insurance, but the insurance has to pay even more if you think about it. That is my problem. That is my qualm with this medical system that we have bought. Now I know I have gone off track. Let's go back to the beginning. Last and final segment and conclusion of this entire video. What should there be in our medical system that should fix all of this? Obviously, it's not going to be a silver bullet that just fixes everything, but it might help. And you might be able to continue using the current system we have, a capitalist system, actually, because what we have right now is not a capitalist system, it's a corporatist system. You have doctors that take care of already existing ailments that you have. You broke your leg, you're sick, whatnot. They helped you out with that. And then you have the people on the other side that are making sure that you're healthy, so you don't have to go to these people. Problem solved, pretty much.